All right, so you got a new OC. Let's talk about it a little bit. The Cleveland Browns it has been confirmed that you have hired Ken Dorsey. I guess not confirmed. There's a source that says this, that Ken Dorsey is coming in to be your offensive coordinator. So I know the first thought that you're going to be feeling on this is, who's Ken Dorsey? Why do we want the guy that was fired by the Bills? We're going to talk about that in this video. We're going to get into it, and I'm going to tell you why. You know what? You may have actually just had a really good hire. But first, before we do that, if you're not familiar with this channel, we love teams that the national media ignores. We have another channel, Sports Talk Detroit. That was first. We're licking our wounds a little bit, coming off a tough loss to the 49ers. It was a great year. Now we feel exactly like Browns fans. We end the season with a loss. Only one team ends the season with a win. The other 31 go home with a loss. That's just the way it goes. But this is why I think this could actually be a really good hire for all of you. And first, let's hit with why people don't like it. All right. So the beginning. Was he the problem with the Bills? This is Dogs by Nature. They did a great job on this. Do Sean McDermott and Josh Allen and Ken Dorsey share the blame? The question here is simple. Why is Ken Dorsey good enough for the Browns, but not good enough for the Bills? I'm going to answer that question for you. He wasn't good enough for the Bills for no reason. Sometimes when things aren't going well, or they're not going as well as they're supposed to be going, okay, you just naturally go, okay, somebody's got to pay for this, right? And Josh Allen was off to a curious start to his season. They were 5-5, turnovers all over the place by Josh Allen. Joe Brady took over as offensive coordinator, and it was a fantasy football owner's nightmare if you were Josh Allen, but also if you were Stephon Diggs, because Diggs basically disappeared after week 10. And so you look at that and you're like, all right, so Ken Dorsey puts his playmakers in position. This is Warren's perspective. He says this: Ken Dorsey was Josh Allen's hand-picked offensive coordinator when Brian Daboll left to become the Giants head coach. All he did was lead the Bills to the second-ranked offense in 2022, a top-5 offense in 2023, but he was fired midway through the season anyway. I full throat defended Dorsey when there was buzz he might be fired, and then after he was let go. He wasn't the problem in Buffalo, and I'm very glad he's getting a chance to run another offense. Whoa. Okay, this is Matt Warren, who covered the Bills at Buffalo Ramblings. He's now the associate director at NFL Coverage, SB Nation. Dude does good. All right, now let's look at what Mina Kimes had to say. Bills offense through week 10, third in DVOA, first in success rate. That's pretty good. Third in EPA per play, fourth in QBR, thirds in yard per play, second in third down conversion percentage, third in red zone efficiency. They were a phenomenal offense, as they should be, because Josh Allen was the quarterback. They were phenomenal offense. You are getting an offensive coordinator who knows how to garner success. I think that's the best way that I can put it. But here's the thing that I want to point out about the Buffalo Bills offense throughout the years. All right? Stephon Diggs, we all know, is a good wide receiver. He was good at Minnesota, and then he was good in Buffalo. And he has been good in Buffalo. He's also a little bit of a prima donna, but yeah. Dalton Kincaid, rookie tight end. He was not playing at the same level for the first half of the year as the second half of the year. That's how things go with rookie tight ends, unless you have Sam Laporta. Okay, the offensive line is okay. Spencer Brown had his best year ever, and he was the 32nd ranked tackle. All right, Deion Dawkins is a good player. He's been a solid left tackle, but not great. All right, bottom half of starters. You have Connor McGovern, Morse, and Torrance. None of these guys are unbelievable weapons. And then you have your secondary wide receivers in Gabe Davis and Shakir. That's not setting the world on fire anywhere, is it? Is that setting the world on fire anywhere here? Cook got better as the year went on. But this has always been this offense in Buffalo. It's been Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and whoever else decides to do something that day. Gabe Davis decides to play really good football once every 3 to 4 weeks. Like, it's all over the place. Ken Dorsey's good. Here's the other thing that I would have. All right? He was playing under a defensive coordinator. So he's playing in a manner, I mean, he's owning it. He's taking it all on his own. Now he comes into Cleveland, and he's playing under an offensive-minded head coach. Now it's no longer a guy who it's like, okay, go do it on your own. Have fun. No, now it's two guys that are being able to use their knowledge to be able to work with each other and get the most out of the offense. Work with each other and get the most out of the offense. All right. Let's go look at some more facts on this about who you're getting. Because remember, you're getting the offensive coordinator from the number 2 offense in the NFL. Under Brady as the OC, Buffalo averaged 27 points in the final 7 games. Under Dorsey, the team averaged 26.2 points per game. In 2022, they averaged 28.4. That's pretty good. All right? He's a good coach. Now, for the things that I don't like. It's also something I kind of like. Dorsey, as you may know, I don't know if you remember him for his stint, his just glorious stint where he threw for no touchdowns and 7 interceptions as a Cleveland Brown, but he is a former NFL quarterback. I did talk about how it would be nice to have a former player come in and be a offensive coordinator / quarterbacks coach for Deshaun Watson. I thought that would be really helpful. I didn't necessarily think they'd bring in a failed former player, but the Browns are continuing on their trend. Tight ends, running backs, defensive line, now OC. They're bringing in former players to help bridge the communication gap between the offense or the head coach, the defensive coordinator, and the rest of the roster. That's a good move. All right. From the outside looking in, Buffalo benefited from a change at offensive coordinator. All right. Their offense did not get significantly better. It just didn't. I remember when the Lions fired Aubrey Pleasant and the secondary got better last year. All right, that wasn't because Aubrey Pleasant wasn't a good coach. He's a phenomenal coach. It just sometimes you just need a change, and change for change's sake is good. And the Browns are doing a little bit of that. And I think as I look across this Browns roster, and I look across especially this coaching staff is set up to help your team for success. So at first, when you see Ken Dorsey as the new offensive coordinator, you might want to yawn a little bit. Think again. The dude ran the second best offense in the NFL for the last 2 years. That's a good hire. Even if Josh Allen was heading the charge, it's still a good hire, and he can bring those things here and bring those things to Deshaun Watson, who has, in some respects, a similar skill set. All right. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, keep watching. We want to be your go-to spot for Browns content all off season. See ya.